Trying to navigate an unknown environment isn't always easy. It's a skill that many of us develop as we age, but sometimes it can happen when we're not prepared. Yeah, I'm sure this has happened to all of us at one point or another. You take a wrong turn, get on the wrong bus, or walk into the wrong McDonald's, and suddenly, things don't look or feel the same. And for any seasoned traveler, this might be a walk in the park, but for someone who hasn't wandered far from the nest, this unexpected change in environment can be a catalyst for something truly unsettling: anxiety. Recently, I rewatched the classic SpongeBob episode, Rock Bottom, and it really struck me with how accurately it depicts this feeling of anxiety. The episode starts off with SpongeBob and Patrick being in high spirits after a long and fun-filled day at Glove World, their favorite theme park. Yeah, it's glove-themed. They get on the bus, eager to go home, but soon discover something isn't quite right. Turns out, this bus isn't going back to Bikini Bottom. It's actually going to an ominous-sounding place by the name of Rock Bottom. Hence the name of the episode, roll credits. Nah, just kidding. Anyway, the bus flies down into this trench, leaving our two protagonists in a dark, unknown land. And can I just say, this situation is so relatable. I mean, there was a time in college when me and my friends had something similar to this happen. We hopped on the wrong train and ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time. That wrong time being 3 a.m.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
So I can really feel the fear these two are going through. They don't know what's going on, they don't know anyone, heck, they don't even know how to read the signs or speak the language. This is truly a foreign land for these two. SpongeBob tries to calm Patrick down, insisting that he'll go see what the bus schedule is, but unfortunately, not long after he walks off, a bus arrives and whisks Patrick away. This leaves SpongeBob in Rock Bottom alone. And even though he's frustrated by this, he tries not to let fear take over. So he goes to wait for the next bus. Only it's not that simple. At every turn, this bus evades SpongeBob. It literally has a mind of its own. And to make matters worse, SpongeBob's balloon floats off. What was a symbol of comfort and familiarity for SpongeBob in this scary situation was now floating off to who knows where. Oh, and a local shows up, but after asking for help, the fish runs after SpongeBob's balloon, leaving the little square dude alone once again. And what follows is still anxiety-inducing and frustrating to this very day. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This is anxiety in its purest form, visualized. Just look at this. Sure, this might be exaggerated, but this is what waiting for something feels like. The idea to step away from it for a second might arise, but it could lead to missing what you were waiting for in the first place. This means that for every moment you're not there, your head can be filled with so many what-ifs. And this is exactly what we see. SpongeBob can essentially feel the presence of the bus. He wants the candy bar so badly, but he realizes that he has to choose. So he sacrifices the bar to make it on the bus. Only, he doesn't make it on the bus. Oh, and his candy bar gets stolen. Things really don't seem like they can get much worse. But oh boy, they sure can. Finally, this anxiety has evolved into complete frustration. The little sponge is done playing around. He's gonna get on the next bus to Bikini Bottom if it's the last thing he does. So, he marches into the bus station and demands to be first in line. Only, that demand doesn't hold much weight, as SpongeBob immediately buckles after seeing the line is full of big, intimidating sea creatures. This is where anxiety rears its ugly head once again. While SpongeBob is trying to stand up for himself, he can't deny the fear in his heart. That being said, he goes to the back of the line, and after some time, finally gets to the front. Only, it's too little too late. He's informed that the next bus leaves in 5 seconds, and we see it drive off. The receptionist confirms that it was the last bus until morning. This reignites SpongeBob's frustration as he demands to get more information. It's a raw side of his character that I genuinely miss, to be honest. This was back when SpongeBob felt more like a real person than a character. Sure, he was filled with childlike wonder and optimism, but he wasn't impervious to feelings of anger and frustration. However, this fit is quickly extinguished as the lights go out, leaving our protagonist in pitch black darkness. Immediately, SpongeBob feels such intense isolation and fear as he utters this iconic line.
This isn't your average everyday darkness. This is advanced darkness.
And to make matters worse, out in the darkness, he starts to hear a voice. It's the voice of one of these fish from down in the trench. This makes SpongeBob desperate as he begins walking away from the station, followed by running, followed by a full sprint, only to come face to face with the wall. He's pinned up against the wall, hopeless, completely at the mercy of whatever is approaching him from out in the darkness. Only, it's revealed that the fish wasn't some monstrous threat. It was actually the fish he had encountered earlier. And wouldn't you know it, he got SpongeBob's balloon back. The little square boy's a bit confused by this, showing his appreciation, but insisting that a balloon won't help him. Yet, as he's saying this, the fish shows that the balloon is actually a means of ascending out of the trench. SpongeBob is shocked but overwhelmed with joy and appreciation, and as he floats home, we see Patrick on a bus, headed back to rock bottom, and hopes to get his friend back. Roll credits for real this time, baby. I love this episode because it covers a lot of important themes. Yeah, SpongeBob may have experienced a lot of anxiety, and that's totally normal. It's a survival instinct after all. A new and unfamiliar place is going to make you question who and what you can trust. But during these moments in life, you may just be surprised by what you find. SpongeBob was afraid of pretty much everyone in Rock Bottom, but none of them were ever directly hostile toward him. Well, nobody except for the guy that stole his candy bar. Screw that guy. Anyway, what I'm getting at is the fact that SpongeBob was making a lot of assumptions about these people, which is a very human thing that we do, but doesn't mean that it's right. Sure, these creatures may not all be the most approachable, but they may have been more help than we thought. After all, the only reason SpongeBob made it out was because of one of the Rock Bottom citizens, which tells us that maybe our anxiety gets in the way sometimes. Not everyone is out to get you. I know it can be a scary world out there sometimes, but you can't let fear control you. You have to show the world that you're not afraid, because once you take that power into your own hands, so many opportunities arise. And don't get it twisted, I'm not saying you shouldn't have your guard up. Like I said, to a certain degree, it's survival instinct. I'm just saying that life is too short to be afraid of rock bottom. Maybe you'll find yourself in places you're not used to, whether it be a physical place, a new job, or a relationship. These situations are going to throw a lot at you, and sometimes all of these new and unknown things are gonna get the best of you. But when you feel beaten down or feel like you don't have someone to turn to, take a deep breath and take an honest look around, because you might find that this situation isn't actually that scary. And when you finally come to terms with this and take that power into your own hands, you'll soar out of that anxiety-ridden trench and rise upon a bright new world filled with optimism. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.